ashamed of. It's part of who you are. It's how you grew up, you know. It's the same as stretch marks. It shows that you've lived.
Well, I was 17 at the time, I think. I got it from a dentist pouring acid on the side of my face.
And I suppose every woman out there has had some form of a stretch mark or a scar in her life, so I'm not quite sure why we're so self-conscious about it.
Skin is an epithelial tissue. All epithelial tissues heal with the formation of scar tissue. And once you have a scar, you've got a scar for life, whether that scar is physical or emotional often.
It's important to identify that there's a physical trauma or physical injury, but there's also an emotional injury. Scarring and femininity don't really go together. So for women, it is about how they're perceived, often by other people. I think we live in a society where people are often judged by their physical appearance. And if you look at fashion media, magazines, it's all about appearance. Emotionally, a person may experience a range of emotions from anger, isolation, fear, embarrassment, depression, difficulty accepting themselves. And what happens is you may get social anxiety where the person withdraws.
At one stage, I was really depressed about the chickenpox marks, and I hid myself in books, studying further, reading a lot, not really wanting to be with people.
You may also get other symptoms such as associated with post-traumatic stress. So that person may relive the trauma, and every time they look at their scar, they associate the scar with trauma. So that is another effect that one can look out for. And then also a sense of loss of their body as they used to know it.
I try and buy clothes more now to hide, you know, what could stand out so it doesn't show up all the time. Also try not to look at my body too often. Don't want to scare myself just yet.
And so they feel different. It's a sense of I'm different to somebody else and not being able to see that other people also have imperfections.
My dermatologist told me that I have a melanoma in December, and the surgery and biopsy have left 3 scars from a skin graft and having my melanoma removed.
I had chickenpox when I was 7. I had a blemish-free skin, and all of a sudden chickenpox comes out of nowhere, and I've got these awful marks it was on my face.
I have a few, all caused from an attack from a bull mastiff, a fully grown male bull mastiff at the age of 10.
I have stretch marks. You know, obviously when you're pregnant, you go through this, what they call the big stretch on the last trimester, and yeah, my body did some serious stretching. So I've got a lot of stretch marks on the normal places, around the waist, some on my arms. And then of course I have a Caesar cut because I had my baby via Caesar.
Scars can't be removed. They can be improved, and their healing environment can be optimized. There are general things like making sure patients have optimal nutrition. In this regard, things like vitamin C and zinc are important. Eating a healthy, balanced diet, not smoking, all of these things are going to improve scars. Our scarring response is very primitive. We tend to over-make scars. We don't need to make such exuberant scars as modern individuals. So we like to dampen down the scarring response. We can use tape to apply it to the surface of the scar, and that takes some of the stresses off the scar and allows less scar tissue to form.
Scars can take up to 18 months to mature, so the longer you do the taping, the better the outcome is going to be. We apply a skin-colored micropore tape, so it's not as obvious as the white micropore. And what we do is we tape the scar for a period of about 10 days to 2 weeks at a time. We don't change the tape every day. What the tape does is it supports and stabilizes the scar. And I tell the patients to leave it on, to carry on with their normal activities, to bath, to shower, to swim, whatever they want to do. And when it starts getting grubby and starts peeling off, then they basically take that strip off. They can massage it with a bit of oil, and then they place the tape back on. Well, I'm currently still taping my Caesar scar. My baby's going to be a year in 2 weeks' time, and basically I'm giving it another 2 weeks with the tape, but I've religiously applied the tape. I've applied oil here and there, but I have religiously applied the tape, also as an experiment to myself, actually, to see how the scar's healed.
My whole family and I believe in word of mouth. If it worked for Sunny, it'll work for Bitty, but we want to see it. And my sister had shown me that her stretch marks weren't as bad as what some women's can be. So I was quite happy to try out bio-oil and use it just to minimize the effect.
I know my mother used it for stretch marks when she was pregnant. It's a well-known product, you know it does give results eventually. So I just thought it would be the best option because bio-oil works so well. Sometimes I can't even remember which side of my face the scar was.
I'm proud about what I did. I'm proud about my baby girl, very, very proud. And I've got a scar to prove that she came out there, so.
I need to obviously get used to being out in the world with scars, and my scars are still quite fresh. But I've just decided it's going to be my campaign for skin cancer.
It made me focus on me as a person and not me as the exterior.
I've just learned to embrace my scars. I don't see them as anything to be ashamed of. I think everyone has something on their body that gives them a story to tell, and those are mine.